I'm Eric Luskin from American Public Television. In our Doc Martin Behind the Scenes podcast number 5, we continue our conversation with series producer Philippa Braithwaite, who, if you don't know, is married to Martin Clunes in real life. She adds her perspective on the decision to put the wedding of Martin and Louisa at the start of Series 6.
Why did you decide to do that?
Because every single series has been building up to will they, won't they? And we thought we cannot do that anymore because it's just kind of done its run, I think. So we thought, let's just get it out of the way. Just get it out. And so most of the series, or most maybe other series, not Doc Martin, would build up to that wedding. But we start the wedding off as quite a low-key event, and then it builds up to something else in a Doc Martin way. So we just thought, let's just knock that on the head. But it does bring other issues out of the woodwork. But they're married, but underlying characters and characteristics haven't gone away. We have some fun with that.
But the Ellingham family is more than just Martin and Louisa. There's also baby James Henry and 7 or 8 different children who play the role, all dressed in identical outfits.
Yeah, it brings its challenges for the director and the crew because actually it's the working hours that are the problem for us. So we can't work as long as we would like with the children, even if we're using different children. So we have to make sure that we schedule around the children, and obviously it takes longer when we have the babies, but there's some really great fun baby stuff this year.
James Henry?
Well, the doc, it's just another thing he slotted into his life. I think he'd rather the baby probably wasn't there, but the baby is there, so he deals with it in a Doc Martin way, very matter of fact, and the baby needs picking up, he picks the baby up. The baby needs changing, he does it. But he does love that baby. He does love his son. So I think that's the fascination of Doc Martin, because he's not completely closed. He does have this very soft side to him that people who've watched the series and really love the series get, and they love those glimpses when they see him being tender with Louisa or the baby. So,
talk a little bit, if you're comfortable doing so, about Martin, the husband, the dad. The cast and the crew are effusive in talking about he's pretty much the least like his character.
Absolutely the least. He is the absolute antithesis of his character, which is why he wanted to play a grumpy doctor. It's fun for him to do it. But people, the public are odd. We were away abroad in Cyprus last year, and this woman was talking to Martin, and she was a bit starstruck, and then she came up to me and she said, I didn't know he was married. I can't believe he's married. And I said, why? She said, because he's so horrible. How did he ever get a wife? And I looked at her thinking, are you mad? He's an actor. But that's kind of, people do see him. People, really intelligent people say, I can't believe he's actually quite nice in real life. It's very strange.
Talk about Martin, the actor.
I'm not just saying this because he's my husband, but he's genuinely one of the most brilliant actors, because it takes a very, very special and good actor to be able to play the nuances of Doc Martin. And I watch it on the rushes that he can just, sometimes we don't need to write a line because we say he can just do a look. And that's a really hard thing to do. And he is genuinely inhabits that role. He puts that suit on, he is Doc Martin. Even I believe he is Doc Martin when he's in that suit. And I think you need an actor. You need an actor who can do comedy, and you need an actor who can do straight roles, and he's done a lot of Shakespearean roles as well, to be able to bring the gravitas and the lightness to that role. It's a very difficult thing to do. And we have many Doc Martins all around the world now formatted. And it's really interesting. The ones that really work are the ones who get the very, very good actors, serious actors, to play the role. Because they say, well, let's get a comedian to do it. I said, it just won't work. If you have someone who just does comedy, you're not going to be able to get the depth and the layers that you need for that role. And I think it's part of why I love the American audiences, because they really understand the layers that go on into that character.
Doc Martin is broadcast in the U.S. on public television. Check your local listings. Doc Martin DVDs are available at retail.